Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is a wife, mother, and entrepreneur. She is also starring in a new Bravo reality series premiering this Sunday, March 24th. And she's here today to talk about her brand new show. I want you to help me welcome the co-creator and producer of Married to Medicine, Miss Mariah Huq, to the show. How you doing, Mariah, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Lady Charmaine. I'm doing phenomenal.
Wonderful. It is so nice to have a woman on the show who's African American doing big things. And not only is she the co-creator of a show, she's also the producer of a wonderful show called Married to Medicine. So I want to know, how did the process of this show even come about, just even the idea?
Well, the idea was birthed by me because it was my life. I truly am married to medicine. We live, work, and play with doctors. My husband is a physician. At the time, I was in medical sales, selling medical devices, and I just saw the sacrifices that I had to make as a wife, as a mother, as a wife of a physician. You know, sometimes our kids would be sick, but he had to go take care of somebody else. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that he had a story to tell. And once I came up with the concept, I just, all the different pieces of the wheel just start coming together.
Now, how did you end up picking your cast members? Were these some friends that you already knew because they were married to medicine and also in the medical field?
Yes, actually, and that's the funny thing. This show is so amazing because it's so organic. One of the physicians delivered our first baby. The other physician was her best friend, which was an acquaintance of mine. My best friend was on the show, who just so happened to be married to a doctor. Then my husband's counterpart, his wife, is on the show as well. So it was all we were all tied together. So it was truly organic. It was real, and it was just our circle of friends. We were all people we were friends with. Now morphing them was the part where you get to see everything unfold on TV. Some of them knew each other, but everybody didn't. So watching those relationships unfold is what you get to really see on Married to Medicine.
Now, I had read that you were also approached by the Real Housewives of Atlanta producers to be on their show, but you turned it down.
Yes, well, our executive producers, Nate Green and Matt Anderson, were actually the producers of a few of the a few of the seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But we thought that this story just was a, breath of fresh air for us. And the medical component was so essential and imperative in our lives. And showing that sacrifice and bringing in our circle of friends was really, really important for us. So we thought that this was a better approach and a better platform to truly tell our story.
It's true, because, especially when you are married to medicine and your story is very different. You're not just a housewife, but also what you're married to as well. So I definitely see your point. Now, is this show going to be different from other reality shows? Now, will this show have any cat fighting? I just got to ask this question.
Let me tell you, there is drama in this show. Okay. I would be lying if I told you it wasn't. Because you know what happens? Even though it's docuseries or reality actually happens. And it's so amazing because you go into it thinking, I'm going to do this and it's going to be great and I'll be the best role model. And then what happens is, life actually happens in front of that camera. But to answer your question, this show is very different. Yes, we have drama on the show, but it's not cat fights. People are dealing with some very heavy, serious issues on this show. And I think everybody will be able to relate to some of the drama that people go through. And it's different because what other time have you ever seen so many minority women, all, professionals, college educated, all wives, really doing the darn thing. They're really, truly doing well. They didn't just marry guys who was doctors. We were all educated, and we married equivalent. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's a wonderful thing to see. I really, truly do.
Well, I look forward to seeing the show premiering this Sunday on Bravo. Also, you are an entrepreneur. You have a company, Mariah Media Group, and you also have Jewel and Jim. Tell us about your media group.
Mariah Media Group is the company I birthed, and that's how this came along. I did it by way of Mariah Media Group because when my husband started practice, I started out in the media in Chattanooga, Tennessee, as a public affairs anchor and producer for the NBC affiliate. And when I moved to Atlanta, I went into medical sales, started making money, and and my husband was in residency, so I had to hold it down. And once he started practicing, I said I wanted to go back to my first love, which was the media. So I launched Mariah Media Group, and I immediately started working on Married to Medicine. So that's what Mariah Media Group is.
So your first project became a major project. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but it took time. It was 4 years in the making. I mean, I got a lot of no's initially. And, I pitched to people like Russell Simmons, Stan Lathan, and I was diligent. I truly believe that we had a story to tell, and it was until I crossed paths with a lot of the producers with the Real Housewives of Atlanta that, the platform became available. So that's kind of how things happen.
You just said a point there that I think that a lot of people need to know. You said you had a lot of no's and you kept on knocking till you got a yes. How long did it take for you to get a yes?
4.5 years.
4.5
years. And as a matter of fact, I pitched to Nate Green and Matt Anderson 3 years ago. They called me back up. And the funny thing is, at some point you do give up. And I was just getting to a point where financially we had hired, production company after production. We tried to do it on our own. We did. And I mean, physically, financially, mentally, I was tired, but I really, truly still believed in it. And I said, maybe I'll just make it a book, and they called up, and it was the work of God, honestly. It was just the right time. I just really, truly feel like it was meant to be, and the steps were just truly ordered. But I think we just had to stay humble. We had to be patient, and, we had to persevere.
That's a blessing. Now, that's a story that many people need to hear. That is so inspiring, Mariah. I also want to hear about your Jewel and Gem company. Tell us about that.
Jewel and Gem is actually ran by my sister, and I do most of the marketing behind it. It's a multicultural children's bedding, decor, and kids' pajama line. And we did Phaedra on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We did her baby's room. My sister is the decorator for that. We have a pajama line coming out in JCPenney's, Dillard's, and Macy's. So it's exciting for us because we're living our dream, and that's what made this all come full circle, because I crossed paths, with the producers from the Housewives doing Phaedra's baby's room when she was pregnant with the first baby, and that's how it all happened. So God bring people in your life for a reason, and you never know how He's going to order your steps and make things just go in the right path.
See, amen. I love that. I love it. And before we go, I want to talk about your family. Your family is multicultural. Your husband's from Bangladesh, and as you said on the trailer, you're Bangladeshi. So, yes, I wanted to talk about your family, and I have a question. With your husband being from Bangladesh, did you guys experience any type of racism because he married outside of his race? Did you have any difficulties in that area?
I don't know, and honestly, I don't know about necessarily calling it racism, but we experienced challenges. Of course we did. My husband came from Bangladesh, and that's a 98% Muslim country. I was raised Southern Baptist, so of course we went through so many challenges. But the thing that we did, and I think we did an excellent job of doing with amongst our own families, and I think we're going to do even better doing in front of the world, is we integrated our lives. We didn't let people put us in a box. We embraced his culture and what he believed, and we did the same thing with me. We didn't have to really pick one. It's essential that we gave our children a foundation. But we do Christmas, and then we do Eid. We do, and you do not have to necessarily pick a black side, Bangladesh. So we integrated everything. I make curry chicken and macaroni cheese. We call it Indian soul. So, and I think you have to make people do that. We had to bring people together. We didn't want people to be separated, so we just morphed it all together and made it work for us.
And that is awesome. And we're going to see all of that come together this Sunday on Bravo at 9 p.m. Married to Medicine. Mariah, I want to thank you so much for coming on this show. And we definitely look forward to seeing you on Sunday. So make sure you DVR it if you can't watch it. And make sure you tune in to Married to Medicine on Bravo, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, and 6 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. So thank you again, Mariah, and I look forward to having you back on the show.
Okay, thank you so much, Lady Charmaine. You have a blessed day.
You too, ma'am. Bye-bye.